Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. Today is May 20th, 2024. We do have a meeting, and we do have a quorum, and I call this meeting to order. I need to get a motion and a second for the approval from the last meeting for the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Chuck, a second by Rick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. First of all, I just wanted to say we have a new person in our Parks and Rec. Her name is Miss Molly. Miss Molly, I just want to thank you for reaching out and keeping us informed and getting the emails out to us and text messages. And that's a big thing for us because we have a very forgetful crew up here, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we'll jump right into the July 4th celebration. Man, it'll be here before you know it.
All right. So the celebration is on July 4th. Gates open at 5:30. Admission is free. Music, which is going to be zone status this year, starts at 6 o'clock on the football field. We've got food vendors. We'll have some activities for the kids. And we've got a few giveaways as the kids enter into the park. So, and of course, fireworks.
Tell us a little bit about the band.
Zone Status is 80s cover band. They performed a few years ago, I believe, at the Old Timers Festival. So they're a returning band.
Anything 80s? Not one group in particular.
They're kind of more like southern rock, country rock. Yeah, any cover songs. I don't know if they're probably not the Bon Jovi type. They may have a couple songs they throw in there, but it's probably
Not the Bon Jovi type.
Rockabilly.
Are they really rockabilly? I think they're just more southern rock type.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the gates will open at 5 p.m.
5:30.
5:30 p.m. And
Music starts at 6.
music starts at 6. Fireworks will start at.
8:45-ish.
Darkish.
Somewhere. Correct.
Is Andrew in charge of the lights?
100%.
I am. That's gonna be the perfect.
We're going to get that timing spot on this year.
Well, we pulled it off last year.
We pulled it off last year. That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Oh, was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It's funny how I remembered that.
And we did order signs also to put around the park of no personal fireworks. Hoping to deter anybody from doing that around the playground again this year.
Was that a problem last year?
Yes.
It's always a problem.
Every year.
Yeah.
And it's a packed park.
Okay.
Well, I guess the next thing is to pray for good weather.
Well, we pray for good weather, but we shoot them fireworks off in the rain no matter what. The only thing it would damper would be our entertainment. So hopefully we can get by with that. We have had issues in the past with when we unlock the bathrooms, we always end up locking those back in that front complex because they always get vandalized. This year that front complex will be locked. We will have portable toilets on site. The football field, I think those bathrooms will probably be unlocked because we are there. But anything we're not staffing or manning or can't keep our eyes on, we're going to try to lock up.
What kind of groceries?
Let's see. I've got several food vendors. Of course, we've got the shaved ice cream vendor, hot dogs, barbecue. Let's see. I've got the kettle corn guy with the lemonade will be there. Traveling Tom's Coffee. I've got about 12 vendors listed. I've got Sweetie Treats. She does desserts. So I've got a good selection of different items that will be available.
No beer wagons.
No beer wagons.
BYOB.
All right, anybody got any questions, comments? All right, I seen this on the Facebook today, I guess for the first time, is Howl at the Moon.
Yep, Howl at the Moon this year is scheduled for Friday, August 16th. Registration's open today. Check-ins at 6:30. Race starts at 8 at the back pavilion, Pavilion B. Right now, registration is $30. That early registration ends on August 2nd. from August 3rd to the 15th, it's $35, and then on race day is $40.
How many people do we have do it last year?
180, I believe.
Yeah, it got crazy up there, that pavilion, a lot of people. You gonna do that start and stop thing like you did last year, whoever comes out and sets that up? And
Yes, we're using the same organization that times the race that we've used in the past few
They
years.
do a good job. Yeah, I was very impressed with that last year.
Yeah, he's good, so he is returning this year.
Rick, you and Chuck gonna be in that?
I was in it last year. I won third place, my age group. Nobody was more shocked than me.
That being no.
People at work didn't believe me. I had to bring the medal in.
Yeah, so what surprises?
First, second, and third of each age group gets a medal, and then we've got a trophy for the top overall male and female. So,
I know my son's friend won it last year. He was excited.
each age group also, or each placement gets a gift card to go with the medal as well.
It's always a good time. A lot of people, and I think the word's getting out too. It's starting. It's one of the few events that's really starting to take off here in the city.
It
I like it.
it
It's
is
a good-
increasing
it's a
each
good
year,
event.
yeah.
I've done it the last 2 years.
Maybe I should enter. There's probably not anybody else in my age group.
Well, you can walk it. You don't have to run.
Exactly.
I walk ran it. It was fine.
And any questions? Looks like Kathy has conjured up the carnival.
They are coming back this year. This year, they're going to be open from August 29th through August 31st at the park,
What is that, Thursday through?
Thursday through Saturday.
Is that the same ones?
It is the same ones, yes.
At the Veterans Park?
Correct, yeah, in the front parking lot, up in
Oh.
front of the, right by the basketball court, up in that front area, on the asphalt.
And the big question. The armbands, time
I
schedules?
don't have a quote
Don't have-
on that. I know he's going to offer armbands, but I don't know if the price has increased. It was $25 an armband last year. I've not gotten any dollar figures from him yet.
But the time thing, if you get there at 12, it's good till 4.
That's
know
how
yet.
he usually does his 4-hour increments, but I don't have the contract per se, so I don't have the specifics on that. But I'm assuming it will be the same 4 hours.
Do we have problems with that last year?
Not really. A lot of people who show up only show up really for 4 hours anyway. It's the issue is if you show up 2 hours before they close, some people don't see the advertising where they're only going to get 2 hours for that money. But really, I haven't heard of any negative comments about it. Not last year. Not once they figured out the routine from the year before.
Well, you know, as a vice mayor, I hear more than you all do, and just very few, but, you know, you give out plenty of notice and you give them the game plan starting out, but, man, that time of year, 4 hours up there on that tarmac, on that asphalt, that's a long time. You know, the only thing I can remember negative about it was about the food. Something, there was only one food thing, or,
I think we had 2 food trailers last year. There were supposed to be 3, and I think one of them got hung up in a different state. But I think they all pretty much offer the same thing.
kids just want to come and ride and play and have fun. That's, you know, that's all they care about. So looks like we got another eventful summertime coming up. And I guess next month we'll start talking about Fall Festival. It's a little early, but it'll be here before you know it. Does anybody have any questions or comments about anything?
I have some questions. I was asked by several people where we are about the soccer, and then this is for where we are about the flea market. Oh, I'm sorry, the farmers market.
Yeah, we disbanded the farmer's market last year. We just weren't getting the vendors for one, and two, we weren't really getting the foot traffic. Because we always started at about this time of year, and nobody had produce to sell. So there, the last couple of weeks, it kind of turned into more of a flea market or a food vendor or a drink vendor than it did a farmer's market. Yeah, we just weren't getting the traffic. We tried several different locations, several different days. We tried Wednesdays, I think, or Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
And then Saturdays, and neither day really hit for us. And then getting a dedicated vegetable vendor or produce vendor was really problematic for us. And we just didn't have the resources to keep throwing at that. As far as the soccer goes, we've explored that. The organization that we wanted to go down the road with, or that we were going to have to put a bid out. We put a bid out for that, and we had no replies. What they required from us, we weren't able to meet those needs at this point. Not saying we've given up on soccer, because I think we're missing a big opportunity. We just have to figure out the logistics of how we can make that work with what space we have to provide for them. We don't want to falsely go into it with falsehoods of them expecting something for us that's not realistic on our end. But that's definitely something we still want to try to provide in the future. We just need to figure out how we're going to go about that, where everybody's satisfied.
And Giles, to add to that, is definitely still in a conversation, but unfortunately, soccer is kind of like the the farmer's market here in Laverne. All of the other towns had the farmers markets years before us, and by the time we were able to get to it, Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Nolensville, man, they had everybody wrapped up, especially on Saturdays. So that's why the Parks and Rec, Peter, Kathy, I guess it is, tried it on Tuesday, and foot traffic just wasn't there. It wasn't profitable for anybody. And I hate it, because I love going up there and getting fresh stuff, because I know you can't tell, but I like to eat. But but the soccer is still something that's on and there's a conversation about it. But and David can be a lot nicer than I will. I will tell you that the people that kind of wanted to do it here, they were not looking out for the children of Laverne's best interest. They were wanting something more. Is that a fair statement, David?
I believe that it would be a fair statement. As a Park and Rec department and representatives of the city, we want to focus our efforts on recreational soccer. And it's hard to do when you have an established organization that comes in that is kind of looking for us. I'm trying to be politically correct here. What they were looking for us, there was no way we could provide. So they wanted to start big. We want to start small, because we're just stepping our foot off into the water here. And it just wasn't feasible what they were requiring out of us at the time.
You know, when we started talking about this a couple of years ago, we were all in agreement that it's all about the kids. And we tried to make that plain to them, that that's how we felt, that if they came in here, it was going to have to be about the kids first. And, from everything that I gathered from it, that's not the way that they were coming across. So with that being said, that's not the people that we wanted in here anyway.
Right, and I think when we finally do head in that direction, we have to have, a game plan for how we're going to grow our facilities, how we're going to provide them the tools necessary to be successful, and how are we going to compete with our surrounding communities. Because it's easy for us to say, we're just going to throw some goals out here and let these 5-6-year-old kids go. But as a parent, I think parents come at it as a different angle, where why am I going to put my 4 or 5-year-old out here in the side field when I can drive 10 minutes down the road to a manicured facility? So that's what we want to offer somewhere in the future also. I know we're gonna have to start small and build big, but it's definitely, I mean, it's on our radar, no doubt, because we're missing a big opportunity here.
Understood.
Any more questions or comments? The only comment I'm gonna, you know me, I gotta say something. The Touch a Truck event. It's good. You guys did a good job. Always gonna hear a few complaints, but I didn't hear not one child, not one complaint, not one. Heard a few parents, but they're adults. But I didn't hear not one child complain, so you guys rocked it on the Touch a Truck. So it's good. It's unfortunate that the helicopter got 30 feet from the ground and got an emergency call. So that's a whole lot more important. They did make an appearance, and I got a bird's eye view of it.
Yep.
So, all right. The next meeting will be June the 17th, 2024, right here in this same boardroom. With that, Jerry, should we put the camera on Molly before we leave, just so everybody will know who she is? If you're watching a Parks and Rec meeting at home, this is our new person at Parks and Rec, Miss Molly. So if you have any questions, call her. With that, I call this meeting adjourned.
Yeah, you just put her headshot up on.